Welcome back to Day Rates, the show where we talk about design.
And money.
I'm your host, Joel, and this is my special guest today, Miles. Welcome, Miles.
Hello, everyone.
So what's been going on, dude? And we'll be right back.
All right.
How's it start?
That was pretty good.
All right.
Very professional.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back in the hot seat.
Well,
New hot seats.
it's been a week.
Since?
The 3.5 months since we posted.
Yeah, we've been away.
And we just started to really miss that YouTube ad revenue, which was just flowing in.
Oh my god, it's like the paparazzi, I tell you.
Yeah. So we figured we'd sell out and we'd do one last reunion tour.
This
Is this.
This episode is actually sponsored by Squarespace.
Make websites more
Better.
good looking.
Go to this link.
Who made those nice Squarespace ads?
Squarespace is actually killing it, dude.
Man vs. Machine, so good. Motion design, that's what we talk about here.
Yeah, motion design. Animation.
Yeah, so, wow, they're so good. Let's react to them.
Whoa.
Terrazzo.
What?
There's a Terrazzo one.
Terrazzo.
Oh, Botanicals. There's a Botanicals one.
Anyway, we've been away because why were we away? We just kind of stopped doing it. It fell off because there was heaps of life shit happening.
There was, yeah. I'm with
baby.
Child, which I mentioned in the kind of few episodes leading up to the collapse of day rates.
Yes.
Turns out raising a child is pretty difficult.
Dude, you're such a bitch. Like, I mean, I've raised like heaps of kids.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Illegit.
So, but yeah, so that happened. You had a kid, and it is hard.
Had a kid, yeah. And then Rona. And then I moved down to the burbs, so now we're like an hour away from each other.
And it's, that is a major thing that happened.
Which leads us onto the news where we should tell our kids that we're divorced now.
We're divorced.
Yes, and it's your fault.
It's my fault.
Not your fault, it's their fault.
Their fault.
Yes.
It's your fault.
The pressure you put on our relationship caused us to.
Because everyone loves me in the comments and doesn't like Miles enough. So give him some pity likes sometimes.
It does really hurt.
Even if it's fake, just give him some pity likes.
That would be nice. Thank you. Yes, we closed the studio.
Yes, our studio, Chalko, if you don't know, that was our studio, bro.
Yes, and it's half closed. We've kept it public facing so that we can still do corporate gigs together. Mm-hmm. But this year we're having a Rumspringer. We're kind of leaning into the more artistic stuff that we want to do. I'm trying to financially ruin my family by doing less client work.
Yep.
And you're taking in jobs from other places and experimenting with stuff. So
yeah, I wouldn't say it's like been super different for me. I was worried that it was going to be different financially, as well as I'm just like, I gotta get work now, and I don't have a reel or anything. Which
we still don't have. We haven't done individual reels yet
because
yeah,
we've still had like all our like previous corporate clients coming back to us.
It's true. We ended up kind of half dissolving the studio, and then I feel like the first few months of this year we've just still done a lot of the same corporate work.
Yeah.
But we don't have that pressure to keep like being businessy between the jobs. It's just we do the job and then we hang out and like chill out or whatever, and like all the other business stuff is kind of gone because we're not trying to like maintain Chalk as a thing so much. It's just great. These contacts still need help. We can help them.
Yeah. And that's it. I think we work better that way.
Yeah.
Because usually we'd be like, oh, fuck, we'll both try to do the storyboard, you do a couple of frames of it, blah, blah, and then like we'll animate, and I'll be like, you do the characters, I'll do this. Whereas now it's more like Miles will just like deal with the client and be like, get the storyboard right, and then just sends it to me for animation. Yeah. And that's been working very well. Yeah,
really good. I have decided that as an animator, I really find it hard to get motivated to animate. I much prefer the actual design side and the illustration side. So I guess that's what I'm transitioning into.
Illustration.
Yeah, I suppose so. And then this year, you've been doing some 3D. I've been doing some 3D. That's been a bit of a focus as well, which I haven't done much really productive work for it yet, but I've done a lot of experimenting and I've learned a lot. So that's something, I guess.
That's definitely something, because it's like now you can like figure out if you wanted, like if they have an idea for a project, you know what tools to use for what, and like mix and match and stuff. So you'll be able to get a better result. I mean,
personally, I've spent a lot more time just working on like modeling, because I like that nerd shit. I just want everything to be quads, you know? When I see a bunch of quads, I'm just like,
That's where we're the opposite.
Quads.
I can't quad some shit. I'll be like, it looks all right now, so that's sweet. And then like you'll do something to it later and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because the model's so blunt.
Yes. So, yes. Maybe that'll be a workflow we use down the line is I'll make a bunch of quads and you can light and texture it and all that kind of good stuff.
That seems like a great idea.
Yes. So check back in the next Day Rates episode in 6 months and you can see that project.
We're actually not real people. We're actually CGI'd right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you seen that meta-human thing? Did I show you that?
That sounds terrifying.
There's a thing that Unreal put out, Unreal Engine or whatever, or Epic Games, where it's like a meta-human creator where you can just like basically make real-looking humans using like kind of video game sliders, but it makes these like ultra-realistic, ready-to-go models of people. So I'm like, fuck, everything's gonna get automated, including all of our jobs.
Like just people.
Yeah, yeah, human beings.
We'll all be at home, and then our holograms will be out there doing shit.
So yes, I
That's
think
terrifying.
it's probably a good time to lean into the ultra artistic weird stuff.
Yeah.
Because maybe an AI won't take that over immediately.
Or become a builder.
Become a builder, yeah. Do something physical.
Yeah, build a house that looks different to other houses, right?
That's a good idea.
Because then people will be like, I want that style of house. And then robots can't do it yet.
That's not bad.
When the world ends, you can build shelter.
That's true. I always think about that. Like, how will I do in the apocalypse?
Oh, do terrible, man. The other day, my girlfriend's sister came down to stay with us, and we had to pump up an air mattress. Blisters. Like legitimate blisters just from pumping up a fucking mattress.
Oh, man.
These hands,
Well,
Miles, these hands.
That's it. You're voted out of the colony.
100%, dude. Put my flame out. What were we talking about pre-metahumans?
I don't know. I threw us off track. We are divorced.
We're divorced. We're freelancing.
Yes.
Um,
But also we're reuniting now. Now that we've divorced, it's really, helped strengthen our relationship.
the kids have gone off to college,
Yeah.
and now we actually have time to spend with each other. Like, we never had time to spend with each other before. The kids, we had to take the kids to school. Like,
Tell me.
the magic went away.
But that spark is back.
The spark is back, and we're back for you. And now we're freelancers, so it makes sense to talk about freelancing.
Yeah, that was the other reason, is we figured that Day Rates just wasn't popping because the content didn't match up with our lives. So no longer are we going to talk about business. Now we'll be like, oh man, I got the booking this week. And, they got a hold on my time. And what am I going to do with this?
These producers are really riding my butt.
Just cool, relatable stuff.
Yeah. But
I feel like we could do in future episodes, like I've gone through the process of making a very basic website myself. I'm probably going to be able to do a reel in the next month or so. So there'll be more stuff we can actually talk about in terms of maybe the decisions we make as freelancers.
Yes. Well, yeah, I've just been booked to go to a studio and work, and that's a first for me.
Yes, we've been very remote worky for the last year.
And it's like, technically we were a studio, but I'm like, we weren't really a studio. We were just like saying fuck heaps and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
Just doing whatever, like drinking beers, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like two buddies as opposed to like a legit studio. So now I got to go into a legit studio and like do stuff. And it's scary, but it should be good to deal with people again.
It's just human interaction.
Legit. That's the only thing I'm scared about. The work is fine. I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Because I have days now where I'll spend 7 days in this house. This is the house I'm renting, by the way. We'll just take the tour. Here's where we film Day Rates. And on the outside, there's the rest of the house.
There's just an open wall.
Yeah.
There's no other rooms in the house. This is it.
It's a set. I live on a set.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spend 7 days just here sometimes. I'll just come into the office, which is where we're filming this. I'll click-clack away, and then I'll go back out. So I'm like, oh, I would really struggle having to go to a location and actually interact with human beings.
Well, I'm like, do I get the train? I've got to take my iMac in there, so I got to assume I got to drive the first day.
Yeah.
And then I got to park in the city. I don't want to park in the city. That's going to cost me as much as I get paid.
That's freelance life, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, nose to the grindstone. But that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, honestly, the main thing I'm worried about is people are like, Jolo, what you doing for lunch, buddy? We're all going down to the Shake Shack, is our usual go-to place. And I'm going to be like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't do that.
You can do it.
I'm going to be like, hey, do you guys have a fridge? Because your boy's bringing in his lunch.
Egg salad sandwich.
Egg salad sandwich. Actually, I've been getting HelloFresh. HelloFresh is actually pretty decent.
And this episode is sponsored by HelloFresh.
HelloFresh, where you go to get your meals.
Cooking made more regimented.
Fresh
and fresh. So this leads us on to our next segment.
Big topic here.
What
is it again, Miles?
Design.
But Yeah, well, I guess we can talk with design and money, right? We're freelancing now.
Yeah.
Do we say our rates? Should we say our rates?
We'll put them up here.
We'll say our rates just so, because like that was a weird thing for me because we charged at our studio if it was like a day rate thing.
Yeah.
Should I say this?
Well, for me to put it out there,
maybe we shouldn't say this.
my approach as a freelancer has still been kind of similar to how we operated as a business, which is I do technically have a day rate of it's like $750 plus GST, but for most cases, I much prefer to still quote on a project basis.
Yeah, okay.
Because it just doesn't. Then the client knows exactly what they're going to get. If it's a job where I'm going to be under the pump, like I've only got 3 days to do it, but I'm putting in like several days worth of effort, then I can still charge what I want, which is, I don't want to charge 3 times 750 if I'm going to like nose the grindstone for 3 days straight.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't want to have to negotiate on like, I'm doing these extra hours basis. So I still lean heavily into project-based pricing.
Okay.
Because then too, if I need help from you or whatever, it's just way more flexible for me to organize it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yes, I think for smaller jobs, I've still quoted a few things on day rates. Mm-hmm. Because in that instance, then I'm like, all right, if this person doesn't have a massive budget, I can quote them a day rate, and then I'll stick to that. Like I've worked a day on this, and if it goes more, then it's clear what the negotiation is. So I kind of divided it in 2 directions.
That's a good. I feel like I don't have the expertise yet to be able to do. Like I would probably definitely call you if I had to like quote a project thing. So I'm like, I don't know, 750 plus 750 plus 750, but also voiceover, all this shit.
Yeah. So it's still hard to price, but yes, I think. If you're working for a studio and you're going in for like set days, then it's good to have just a clear day rate, I suppose.
Well, that's the thing, because I've been talking to them about like the jobs I'll be doing, and they're like, "Oh, can you do this, blah blah blah. We got these ones too to get done. This is the deadline, all this shit." I'm just like, "Are you able to work on both and shit, even if they overlap and stuff?" I'm just like, I'm just going there for these days. I'll do whatever the fuck you want me to do.
Give me 2 keyboards.
I'll suck your dick. No. But yeah, I'm just going to go on that many days. I'm just like, whatever I can do for you on those many days. I'm happy to stay back as well. No extra cost, a couple hours, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I that's what I didn't really understand. The way I was getting asked what to do and stuff, or what I had to do. And I'm just there for those days. I'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Trying to gauge your efficiency beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I had a meeting with them, talked about what the jobs were, and they seem achievable.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'll be able to knock that out.
Yeah.
If I can't, then we're fucked.
My approach this year has been, apart from the corporate jobs that we've kind of done together, has been to mostly just do less work. Because I was having full burnout last year, so that's kind of part of the reason for wanting like a more of a Rumspringa year where I can just learn some stuff and hang out a bit more. Yeah. So I'm like really, it's funny. Like booking me now, I'm really not highly incentivized to do anything. So I'm like hard to book in that sense, because I'm like looking at things, I'm like, nah, it's not up my alley, which is good. Because that is the advice, I think, for people that are freelancing. If you can get to a point where you can pick and choose a bit more, you get so much leverage over things all of a sudden.
Well, it's lucky you're able to pick and choose, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
I'd do that too if that was the case.
So like I'm trying to do that a little bit. It's not the financially smartest thing I'm doing right now, but I'm just like, I'll do the corporate jobs to pay for things. I got into this habit too. I don't know if, I feel like we did this as a studio, but you get an offer to do a kind of creative job. And for whatever reason, those ones I would be like overworked on, undercharged for, and it still wouldn't end up being that creative.
Yeah, because it gets like talked down and shit. They have high hopes, but it's like never as creative as they think it's going to be. They're like, whoa, make it blue again.
Yeah, so that's been my thing this year is I'm trying to look at the jobs that come in, even if they look really like creative and fun, try to look at them objectively because I always get sucked into that. And as like now, I'm really co-parenting with my wife, so it's kind of like, I don't have that much time to spare. I don't want to go like sucked into a rabbit hole of something that I've bent over backwards to get because I think it looks cool, and then it's still just like basically a corporate job.
Yeah, well, it would never look as cool as you think it's gonna look.
In these instances, if it's like lowly priced, I'm leaning towards more just saying no these days, because then I can just work on something for myself, which I know will end up being more creative, and then I can just put it in the reel. Yeah. Because I'm mostly looking for like reel and portfolio fodder currently. Yeah, so yeah, my incentives are maybe from the outside a little strange when people are dealing with me now, because it's really not, I'm not incentivized that much by money as much as I was. Like even when we were running the business, I'm like, let's build the business, like. Ugh.
He's wearing a white collared shirt.
I did. I used to do meetings and stuff.
Yeah. You'd be like, I'm out on meetings today, and I'm just like, where are you going? And then your dad would come over and be like, Hey, Joel, while Miles is out, can you do this thing for me?
Little sneaky business, huh?
Oh, yeah, little sneak biz.
So yeah, I'm determined at least for this year to be a terrible business person. And I could probably only do that for like around a year. And then I should, depending on how it goes, I'll probably have to be like, all right, let's go back and...
Well, anything can happen. And I mean, I reckon you'll be ready in a year to be like, you probably want it. And then having had a break, it'll probably be like way easier, or like you'll be like heaps hungry to do it.
I think too, we're both like really passionate about design and motion design. And then you get these kind of like lofty goals about what you're going to do. I think probably I'm a bit more realistic about if I went back after a year and I had to just do business, I would see it for what it is.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the work in our market, Sydney or Australia, it's just like, it is quite dry corporate work.
Yeah.
Like there's some fancier stuff out there, but...
Where?
You know, yeah. Not for maybe people our scale. Like you can do niche little jobs that might be creative, but it's kind of like what I was talking about before. They might not be paid very well. Mm-hmm. So that's just for the love, which you should consider just doing it for yourself at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or the stuff that we can get paid for quite well, or it's worth our time. It's normally kind of that mid-level explain a video corporate stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'd probably go back in just being like, well, I'm just going to perfect the process of doing this. So I'm like content doing it.
Yeah. Which
we started to do a little bit in business. But if I went back, I think that would be the incentive, is like, all right, let's just do this as like a business. Yeah. You know, so much more like this is what this is.
Get some producers on board.
Yeah. Because yes, as you can tell from day rates, we're not like super producery people.
No, man.
We're always like, that would be half of our gig, would just be looking at each other like, how do we respond to this email? And then we'd be like with the whiteboard and brainstorming.
One time when Miles, I think we were on your honeymoon, and it was me and the people that used to work for us.
Yeah.
And like there was like, I was like head honcho at that point.
Yeah.
And then we got an email from a client, and we're just like, fuck. I was like, how would you reply to this? And then we all fucking got around. It took us all day just to reply to an email. We're like, what would Miles say?
Sounds good, kind regards. But like it all day.
All fucking day, dude. But yeah, so that's like, I can't do that shit. There's no way.
Yeah.
But
some
now people are really good at that shit.
I guess kind of as freelancer now, you're already getting your first taste of maybe having to do a bit more of that directly. Although you were doing a lot we were splitting everything down the middle towards the end of Chalk, for sure. So
I say it like I don't ever do any of that shit, but like, I don't know. And now, especially because I'm a freelancer, if someone's like, oh, we're going to have a meeting about this, I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just like, yeah, sweet. We have to, because I don't know what this is. So now it's like, you just have to do it so you don't care. But I used to get like heaps nervous.
Yeah.
And like doing a Zoom or whatever.
Meeting phobia is so real. It's classic. Like if you haven't done a meeting in a while, then you're like, oh my God, I got something booked today. Like I have to chat to someone.
And if it's at like late in the day, you're like, oh God, it's going to ruin my whole day.
Because I've had this run of things where I'm just like booking things by email, doing them. It's like almost no human contact, and I'm quite happy with it. Like I just get through the work. I don't really have to deal with many interactions. But yeah, then I get really rusty with just having a phone call. So now I'm trying to just be like, yeah, if someone wants a phone call, I'm like, yeah, let's do the phone call. Like,
dude, towards the end of last year where we like closed out the business, I had like a meeting with a big client. It was like our last job we had to do as well, and I ended up swearing by accident.
Yeah,
I was just like so like.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I was like hungover. I was just like super tired and shit. And it was like not supposed to happen. She was like, oh, can you jump on a call real quick? I'm like, fuck. And then jumped on this call. And I think it was like, they wanted to get rid of some icons basically. So I'm like, right, you just want to fuck those icons off?
Yeah. Just fucking add some amazing here, some fucking shit circles,
and
slide
I
in.
was like, fuck, I immediately texted Miles. I'm just like, I think I've just fucked up.
Yes, we closed the business after that. It was that damaging to our reputation.
That was it. Still in court, in and out of court.
So I mean, some clients have like feral mouths in the meetings, and I'm like, I don't care, but different studios have like different vibes, like different agencies.
That's why I'm scared, because I feel like you'd be able to contain it. I feel like if I go to a studio and they're swearing, I'll take it to the next level by accident or something.
Yeah, well,
dude,
watch yourself.
I know, I really got it now. We didn't have HR when we had a studio.
Yeah, no.
There's HR out there. They're out there.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're watching this.
So, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully this channel will have more actual insights into our little freelance journey.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping just to be able to show more weird artistic stuff that I'm learning. Like I've been learning Blender this year because I had a terrible experience with Max on support, allegedly.
I still like you. Please don't cancel my subscription.
I'm still using them. It's a great product, but it was like I just couldn't get onto anyone from support for ages. Like there's no numbers to call. There's like a German number you can call. I was putting in these tickets and no one's getting back to me. So I'm like, that's it. I'm learning Blender. And now I'm using Blender to just like do more 3D modeling. And I love it. It's so much better for modeling than Cinema 4D. But Cinema 4D is still much better in terms of using the arrays and the motion tools. And I still prefer like rendering and doing the lighting in Cinema 4D. I'm just so much more used to it.
Okay. But you're still getting clean renders out of Blender as well, though.
Yeah, I got one thing that I posted on Instagram, which is like a little basic thing.
Which we'll show here.
And I've done some like weird temple renders that I haven't put anywhere yet. But yeah, so I like how responsive Blender is with the viewport and all the modeling tools. When I first started, I was just like, why is everything a hotkey? Like it's way more hotkey heavy in a way that Cinema 4D just isn't.
Right.
But it's not even like Cinema 4D. I'm used to hitting like a hotkey to bring up a menu. You can see what you might need, and then you hit the next hotkey. But this thing, it's just like I had to Google so much for like the first month. But
I want to learn it, but I don't want to learn it.
So yeah, let us know if anyone else is in Blender Gang. And
100%, these fools out here are on Blender Gang.
100%. It's gotten so much more popular ever since they updated the UI.
It does look nice.
It just feels like it's got momentum. Like Cinema 4D, they do a yearly drop of like the new thing that's coming out. But it's really nice. Blender does all these updates all the time. And because there's a lot of like passionate poor people that are using it.
Exactly.
There's like so many tutorials and hobbyists use it. And like it's just got a really nice community behind it. So I'm enjoying it.
Maybe I should get into it.
Yes.
I mean, maybe I should finish I'm working on a project at the moment for myself in Cinema 4D, which I should probably finish before I switch to Blender.
Yes. But yeah, I think they work in unison. So I'd say that I'm enjoying it for modeling, but I still am, looking to move stuff between the two programs. So I forgive you, Maxon.
Max off.
All right, end of the episode. Well,
is there anything else we need to talk about? Oh, I guess we should say like what we kind of plan now for the channel.
Yeah.
Because we did record an episode a few weeks ago that we were going to put out, which was the return episode. But Miles was just really shit.
Oh, get out of here. I was on fire then. I'm rusty as hell now.
I was rusty as fuck, so I made the call that we weren't going to post it.
I was like a phoenix from the ashes. I was like, Baka! So, but we're back.
So yeah, we scrapped it. But I feel like this is a good episode. Ran really well.
Yes. We did a failed recording of this just before recording this.
We did. Miles' fault once again.
That one was my fault.
Jesus Christ, Miles.
But yes, we'll do more kind of updates on the actual freelance stuff. I think would be good.
Yes.
And we did a few interviews last year.
Which I still want to do.
And it would be great to do more of those.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of people that are keen. So ideally, we're going to do one every fortnight still, I reckon.
Yeah, I think fortnight would be the way to go.
Once every fortnight. Hopefully, eventually, it'll be us just talking our shit.
Yeah.
Then the next fortnight will be an interview. Then the next fortnight, us talking our shit, and so on.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see in 4 months.
Yeah, we're going to start promising shit.
Well, yeah, we're the divorced family now, and this child we're promising things to.
That's true. Oh, shit. All right.
It's time for
Family
fun.
Dude.
Sorry.
Wait, how are we doing it?
It's time for...
Wait, word for word or just out? Just family
fun.
Family
fun design corner. Family fun design corner. Today we've got no creative abode. I'll hand over the ceremonial phone to Joel so you can just scroll through his work.
Whoa.
His name's Christian, and he's a 3D artist. And the reason I wanted to put him in the corner today, so to speak, is because his recent temple renders, there's like these kind of big Roman architecture things with flowing fabric between, is just like exactly what I had in mind for a project that I've been working on. I had all these boards set up. I was working on these sketches for like the last month. And then he started posting these and I'm just like, you know what?
That's it.
Those are perfect. I don't need to do mine. So I just kiboshed that project. So I'm like, well, I've already seen it, realized, and he did it way better than I would have done it. So I'm just like, it's too good.
It's really cool shit because it's like...
And he sells NFTs, so go bid on those NFTs, baby.
Wait, not for temples.
I think he does NFTs. I take it back. No, he does. He definitely does.
It's a very cool style because it's not like super realistic.
It's
like,
stylized.
It's very stylized, and it's like I don't know how to describe it. There's a lot of contrast as well.
Yeah,
it looks like underexposed photos or something.
Yeah,
like, it looks really cool.
But it stuff's very cool. He's got like he's got some building renders and stuff. They're just so detailed. There's just so many elements. So he kind of does these great renders where there's lots of stuff happening, but they're just really cool.
Bright colors and stuff. And like, do you reckon he's like Houdiniing these cloth?
I don't even know. I think he uses Cinema 4D for a lot of stuff.
It looks amazing.
But whatever his mix is, it's really good.
Some kind of X-particle situation.
So that you boy... Yeah, the cloth simulations in those top ones,
are
which
ridiculous.
We'll put here. There's lots of folds and stuff. So either he's got a really powerful computer to handle Cinema 40's terrible cloth simulation, or he's doing it somewhere else.
Or a windy apartment.
He's got a windy apartment. So shout out to No Creative Abode. Congratulations, you've done it.
He's done it. Yep.
And that's all. Oh yes. No, wait, that's his Instagram handle. So Christian, you've been cornered. No Creative Abode. Check him out here. Or don't. I should stop doing this because you have to After Effects stuff.
Now I just won't, so we look stupid.
Fuck, so dumb.
Or I'm gonna like put it like over here, so it's like you're not holding it.
Shut up, Joel.
Oh!
All right.
Well, I hope you guys stick around. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that shit. Hit the button, destroy that button.
Smash that button.
Sell it to your friends. Give it to your mum's dog. Eat shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Day Rates is back.
Day Rates is back, baby.
We're back! Alright.
All right.
Hey.